Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 8 and my Week 9 picks for the 2022 NFL season. Check it out. Well, I hope everyone had a good and safe Halloween. I know I did. I know Carver did. He took over my Week 8 video as normal around Halloween time, so he takes over my shift like he always does and all that. But anyways, that being said, hope everyone had a wonderful and safe Halloween. I hope you didn't eat too much candy, because it's probably not good for your teeth anyway, and good for your body anyway, But anyways, I hope everyone had a good and safe Halloween. Hope you went to a Halloween party, went to haunted attractions like I did, Anyways, Halloween's just my jam, What can you do? But anyways, hope you guys had a safe one. Hope it wasn't too haunted or scary for you. Hope you were safe anyway, so hope everyone was good on that. So, anyways, back to my my record. I went 11-4 straight up, and 64-45-1 overall in the years. That was pretty good on that part. Against the spread, I went 9-6 overall. I'm 49-49 and at the 500 mark. I went 6 pushes on that. Over and under, I went 500 on that. I went 2-2. Now I'm 10-15 overall in the year. So that's all right. Not the best record for the over and under, but it's getting up there. My records right now, it's getting pushed back up, which is pretty good. Now with the 13-game schedule, which is probably going to be a big schedule, so I got to play them good. So we got to get these things going. But let's get on to my thoughts about that one. Let's get on with the Baltimore and Tampa Bay game on Thursday night. Tom Brady dropped his third straight game for the first time since 2002. Ironic, huh? Yeah, the practices, I don't know what's going on with Tampa. Maybe it's the Florida weather or something like that. But anyways, Baltimore's offense looks pretty solid. So that's not really normal. Normally it's their defense over the years. But it's their offense is keeping their season going. And Baltimore's doing things. And Lamar Jackson could be another MVP run. We'll have to find out on that. But anyways, Baltimore got the win. Tampa Bay dropped third straight. They're looking for their first win in 3 games. Jacksonville and Denver, it was a really defensive game for both teams, But at the end of the game, there was a group gathering with Russell Wilson leading the way. That was pretty cool on that part. So, anyways, Atlanta and Carolina. Atlanta stands alone in first place in the NFC in the South. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that? Having Marcus Mariota as your quarterback. This is pretty crazy. Which I'll get to the other switching quarterback scenarios in a minute. Dallas and Chicago. As I expect for Chicago, you beat my Patriots, you lose the next week. It's kind of like a trend over the years on that. Even when Brady got hurt in 2008, and even when 2002 season with that, most of the time, 75% in 20 years, when they beat the Patriots, most of the time they lose the following week. Which I kind of researched that. I believe it was like 75% or something like that. At least a little bit under that, but which I kind of learned that stat. I'm like, oh, pretty interesting. Yeah. Miami and Detroit. Detroit had the lead again, and they blew it. That's all I can say. Minnesota and Arizona. Look, I give Minnesota credit. They're winning ball games. That's good. But they're keeping it close right now. That's kind of like a ticky-tacky thing. If you think about it, the winning close games, sometimes it bites you in the end. I just hope that doesn't happen with Minnesota. But I think the reason why it's being close right now, it's kind of like their place kicker, Greg Joseph. He's not really having the best year. After all, last few years he hasn't been really the best kicker in the NFL right now. And I think during the trade deadline, I believe they're going to try to replace Greg Joseph, which is kind of like a sad thing to do. I hate to say it, but they kind of have to do that. That's kind of like the only thing they need to do right now. Anyways, that being said, the Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints, though, the Vegas Raiders suffered one of the worst losses in franchise history. Even in the early 2000s when they struggled. Kind of ironic. But with that being said, though, it leads to Josh McDaniels. The reason why I say that, another hoodie disciple who really is not really that good of a coach. Don't get me wrong, great offensive coordinator. He was great with my Patriots over the years. But as a head coach, very terrible. First time go around with Denver. Oh, really bad, and he drafted Tim Tebow. People forget about that one. Then he went to St. Louis. I don't think he was a head coach over there. I think he was a quarterback coach or something like that. He went down there after that, and he was down there and didn't do much over there. Then he went back to Hoodie in 2011 during that postseason, I think, for that Super Bowl run. I think it was, he came back at that run, or I think it was after the offseason. But it was around that turning point. And yeah, he spends another probably another 11 years, probably in the next 10 or 11 years back in New England. And he has a great success with Tom Brady in there. Probably one of the best offenses in the league at that time. But still, then he goes back to went to get the head coaching job in Indianapolis, bailed on that, then spends another year in New England, then he goes to a few years in New England, and he goes to get the head coaching job in the Vegas Raiders. It goes to show you that the Vegas Raiders fans are not really thrilled about that. They went to the postseason last year, almost beat Cincinnati. Oop. I had hold on. Yeah, I was going to say, they had a Rich Basia, whatever his name, I forget, he pronounced his last name. He took them to the postseason. He still didn't get the job. Which I kind of scratched my head on that. Then they went to Vegas. Then they hired Josh McDaniels out of that, and they're not doing anything. I'm going to make an early off-season prediction move right now. After the season's over, when the postseason comes back, when the postseason's done, Josh McDaniels is going to get fired. And he's going to come back to be the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. You heard me right. And I'll get to the Patriots in a bit. But I will say this. I kind of wanted to see what Bailey Zappi would have done with Josh McDaniels on there. Because goes to show you, the Patriots offense, since Josh McDaniels left, even when Brady was there, the offense was pretty brutal. Brutal since Josh McDaniels left here to my Patriots. That happened when he left for the Denver job. Brady struggled, even though there was an injury prong on that, and he was coming back from an ACL injury that year. Even in 2010, he got the MVP award, but he still weren't the best numbers. And then he goes back to New England, and it skyrocketed with Tom Brady again over there. It's kind of ironic if you think about it. And even when Josh McDaniels under Mac Jones played better as a rookie year than he is doing now. Pretty interesting on that. All right, let's see how that one happens with that. And speaking of my Patriots beat the New York Jets in this one. It was a very good, tight game. You know, Mac Jones didn't have the best numbers, but he got the job done. I don't know if Bailey Zappi would have made a difference, if they would have clobbered them or something like that. I'm not going to say that. The point is they got the job done. They got the job done, but it wasn't pretty. Of course, at the last second, the Jets had a garbage-time touchdown at the end of the game. Didn't really matter. The Patriots still recovered and got the win. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. It goes to show you that it's definitely rebuilding mode for Pittsburgh. And Philadelphia just shows that they're really a much better, probably the best football team right now. Don't get me wrong with the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Buffalo Bills right now. Great football teams right now. But there's one team who is the most dominant team right now. It's Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll have to see how that one goes out and goes from there. The Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. I'll say this, from Malik Willis's first time replacing Ryan Tannehill, he didn't ask to do much, but he only did 10 passes, and I believe it was. Hold on, let me take a look. I believe he had a 4.4 average as a quarterback that wasn't really too bad for a rookie quarterback to start his first game. I think down the road, I think Malik Willis is going to be a good quarterback down the road. I really do. So he only threw for 55 yards, and which is not bad. he will continue to spread out. I really think so. So just give him a little more time to work, and I think they could probably make a great success under Malik Willis. I think he's going to be the future for Tennessee. And speaking of future quarterbacks, maybe down the road, the Washington Commanders and the Indianapolis Colts, I will say this. Tyler Heinicke is the future for the Washington Commanders. I don't care what anyone says. He's a good quarterback, you know. He's a really good quarterback. They got the job done when he needed to. And I think one coaching staff member said they have a better chance of winning a football game under Tyler Heinicke. That goes to show you that Ron Rivera needs to make a change for him over Carson Wentz. Hate to say it, but I hope they do that. San Francisco and the LA Rams, good division game matchup right there. But they got the job done against the 49ers. That's all I can tell you. Seattle and San Francisco. Okay, this is where I'm going to tell you get dicey. If you would have told me that Marcus Mariota and Geno Smith were going to have a great success for new teams this year, I would have said you were crazy. I know I had a feeling about Indianapolis anyway, because they're having a quarterback problem since Andrew Luck retired. So that would have been off the table on that. But you mean to tell... I would have said so. You guys would have been crazy with that, but no, lo and behold, Marcus Mariota is playing very well for Atlanta. And Geno Smith, who could possibly be a comeback player in the year chase for Seattle, is playing solid football right now. And it goes to show you for the New York Giants right there. I'm not going to say anything bad about the New York Giants. They're having a good year as well. But Geno Smith is having a great career, right? Great NFL season right now. Definitely a comeback player of the year chase. And I would go to tell you this. Pete Carroll, if he goes to the postseason with Seattle, maybe coach of the year candidate too, after they weren't expected to be in a playoff chase. I will say that. I'm not going to lie. That is a really good coaching job he's doing right now. I give Seattle credit for one thing. They're playing well as a team. T-E-A-M as in team. And that's the thing that's motivating Seattle to do right now. All right, let's get on to the... all right, continuing that. Saturday Night Football, Buffalo and Green Bay. Buffalo just came out and smoked Green Bay. And if Green Bay loses to Detroit, they might as well just pack it in for the season. Because there's a lot of problems with the offense right now. Aaron Rodgers is not getting the receivers he's doing. It goes to show you that he really misses Devontae Adams. And if they don't do anything at the trade deadline to get a wide receiver threat, then this season's over for Green Bay. I hate to admit that. I like Aaron Rodgers, respect Aaron Rodgers, but I'm sorry. It's time. I think it's probably going to be time moving on for Aaron Rodgers. Make a good, go on to another team, and they're going to probably go on with Jordan Love. That's all I can tell you on that one. In Cincinnati and Cleveland, yeah, I got to tell you, it goes to show you that even though Deshaun Watson's suspended, even without that, Cleveland is winning the trade with Baker Mayfield in Carolina. It goes to show you that. And I don't care what anyone says about that, Deshaun Watson's suspended or not. I understand why he's suspended, but it's not the point. But Cleveland is winning this trade so far. We'll have to find out what happens from there. But Cincinnati, it just got buried in the rain. I'll just say that the least. Cincinnati, it just got brutal in the wet conditions out there. It was no answer for Joe Burrow and that offense. And it just showed that Cleveland is a much better defensive team. All right, that's really my thoughts about Week 8. Let's get on to my Week 9 picks. Okay, for Week 9, there's like 6 bye weeks this week. The Cleveland Browns, the Dallas Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the San Francisco 49ers. So if you have like Cleveland's defense, if you got Jacoby Brissett on Cleveland, if you have Dallas and Dak Prescott, or Dallas defense, or CeeDee Lamb, or if you have the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson, or Denver defense, or if you have the New York Giants like Danny Dimes, or the Giants defense, to say the least, and Pittsburgh with Kenny Pickett, or Pittsburgh's defense, or if San Francisco with San Francisco's defense, or if you got Jimmy Garoppolo or George Kittle, just bench them this week. And if you're on fantasy football, they won't be playing this week. So, anyways, that's a big heads up for bye weeks. So that means we have a 13-game schedule, so we got to make these count. This is where it's going to be, where it matters the most, is the 13-game schedules. I think this is the first week out of 2, I think it is, for the 6-week buys coming up, so you know, be prepared for that. So, anyways, let's kick things off on Thursday night with Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. This game is like the World Series. Philadelphia and Houston, they're meeting up on Thursday night. Even though the World Series got a rain delay, I'm not really big on baseball in that matter. But the Houston and Philadelphia meet again, but this time in the NFL on Thursday night on Prime. So, like Houston and Philadelphia in the World Series, they're meeting again in the NFL this time. So, another Philadelphia-Houston matchup, like the World Series. So it's going to be a Philadelphia and Houston showdown. First in the World Series, now on Thursday Night Football. So, over again, I think Philadelphia's going to have the advantage on that this time around. I'm not going to give you baseball. I'm not really a big baseball fanatic. But, baseball, I don't mind going to the games, but it's just not my cup of tea to watch. But anyways, let's continuing on with that. So, I think Jalen Hurts and the offense, they're going to probably just be on Houston all day. They're just going to in there. But it's Thursday Night Football. They're probably going to show you why they're going to be proven to be the best team in football. So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the Houston Texans in this game in Houston. I believe that's in Houston. Yeah, it's in Houston. On the line though, Philadelphia is favored by 13 in this game. I'm going to take Philadelphia minus 13. The over and under is 44. I'm going to shoot for the under 44 on this one. The LA Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this game is going to be a much closer game I expect to be, but I think it's going to be a really tight one on this one. But Justin Herbert's not playing the best football right now. The offense is struggling a little bit. They're relying on the defense to win the games, and I think that's what's going to happen with the LA Chargers. And they got recharged for the bye week, so it's going to be an extra motivation for them. So I'm going to take the LA Chargers over the Atlanta Falcons in this game, in Atlanta. On the line, though, Atlanta's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Atlanta plus 3 because I think it's going to be a little close matchup. The Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. Now, this game is going to be a very interesting one to look at. I think this is going to be like one to be going back and forth. I think it's going to be like the Miami Dolphins did when they went through with Baltimore in week 2. I think it's going to be a much same situation in there. Chicago's coming around. So I think it's going to be a fair warning for everybody. Look out for Chicago in the next few more years. Not Jalen Hurts. Justin Fields is playing like he's supposed to play right now, which is just pretty good. So I was all over Justin Fields when he got drafted in Mac Jones. I'm not going to lie. I choose Justin Fields over Mac Jones. And so Mac Jones is playing good. And so now Justin Fields is playing better. But out of all the quarterback situation from the 2021 draft, I think Justin Fields been having a better year so far than everyone else right now. Just saying. But anyways, that being said, I think the way I go with this game, I think Miami Dolphins is going to has the better advantage right now. They have the weapons more than Chicago does. But I'm going to take Miami over the Chicago Bears in this game. On the lineup, Miami's favored by 4.5 in this game. I'm going to take Miami minus 4.5. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers. Now, Cincinnati is going to be very, very hungry for a win. Because it showed on Monday Night Football, they just didn't have any answer down below. So, I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals over the Carolina Panthers this game because I think they're just about to tank and try to get the number one draft pick right now. So, I think that's what's going to happen. So, I'm going to take Cincinnati over Carolina in this game. On the line, though, Cincinnati is favored by 8 in this game. That's way too many points. So, even with Carolina not doing really good right now, I'm going to take Carolina plus 8. The Green Bay Packers over the Detroit Lions. This is a much win situation for Green Bay. They have to keep up in the postseason, in the playoff race, and they have to win big. This is the most important game in there for them. And it's even better. It's a division game. It's going to be a really close matchup. So I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers over the Detroit Lions in this game, in Detroit in this game. On the line, though, Green Bay is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Detroit plus 3.5 because you never know. My Patriots over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm just going to play it as this. I'm just going to go with whoever's the better quarterback and the better coach in this. And this is Bill Belichick and Mac Jones going in. And by the way, congratulations to Bill Belichick, passing George Halas, all-time winningest coach in there. Now he's 23 games away for passing Don Shula. This is definitely maybe an accomplishment you've seen next year or maybe the year after. So I can't see Bill Belichick getting fired right now. Unless, I think for my case scenario, for Bill Belichick, I think if he gets that record past Don Shula, he's going to call it a career. That's what I think it is. But anyways, that being said, I think he wants that record, and I think he's going to call it. Despite not winning a Super Bowl or not, I think getting that record is more important to him. He's not going to admit that, but I think he will. But I think that being said, I think the Patriots at home this week, I think they're going to have a better advantage. They're playing much better at home than they were last year. So I think this is a much key situation. They've been playing much better on the road than they are at home lately. So this is going to be a very tight situation right now. This is going to be the good turning point for my Patriots right now. They might have got the win, but they need to get another win in this one. So I think my Patriots are going to climb above the 500 mark for the first time this year. And I think my Patriots are going to beat the Indianapolis Colts in this game. So I'm taking my Patriots over the Colts in this game at home in there. So in that one. So that's my prediction on that. My Patriots over the Indianapolis Colts in Foxborough. On the line though, the Patriots are favored by 6 in this game. That's way too many points. So even if it was a little bit lower than 3, like I say, like past the 5 mark or 5 or less, I would have taken the Patriots on this one, but I can't. That's way too many points on this one. I'm going to take my Patriots, the Indianapolis Colts plus 6 on this one. The Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Now, I'm not going to lie. This could be a trap game on this one. The New York Jets are probably hungry for a win after they lost to the Patriots for the 13th straight loss in a row for my Patriots on that one. So, I think this is going to be a good crack at it for Buffalo. If there's going to be a game Buffalo may lose, it could be this one. I'm not going to say they are. They are a very good football team. They can win in this one. They have a great solid defense and a great solid offense on this one. But for Buffalo's case, they have a tough road ahead of them. They have the New York Jets coming up this week, and they have my Patriots twice, and we beat them one time last year, and they haven't lost in New England since Tom Brady left. Kind of ironic, isn't it? So, anyways, that being said, Buffalo has a much tough test for them. This is probably where it's going to be starting, I believe. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they got Minnesota coming up. I think next week. Unless they did play Minnesota, I'm not sure. Yeah, which I think... Yeah, I believe it's in a couple weeks or something like that on Sunday night. So I think that's coming up. I think that's next week, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm trying to look this really clearly, so I want to apologize for them. Yeah, I believe for the Bills schedule right now, it's not going to get much easier after the Packers game, because after the New York Jets, they got the Minnesota Vikings, like I mentioned. Hold on, I gotta look a little bit more because my screen froze for a minute, so let me apologize for that. They got the Cleveland Browns after that, which is gonna be very tough on there, but it's at home, it's in Buffalo, so there'd be a shot at that one. Then they got the Lions, which they should win that one. You never know. Then they got my Patriots on December 1st, which is gonna be really tough. So, and the New York Jets again after that. And I believe on the last game of the year, no. And then they got Miami, which Miami plays good on division teams anyway. Then they got the Chicago Bears, after that, which this could be like what my Patriots did. They could be doing something like that. And they got the Bengals after that. So it's gonna be a tough road for Buffalo, but I think they are a good football team. I think they can handle that. So, anyways, I'm not saying that they're not gonna lose, and they may win. They will. But anyways, this one they should win in this one against the New York Jets in this one. So I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills over the New York Jets in this one. So this is where it's going to be a tough road ahead. I think they have one of the toughest schedules right now. So, on this one. So, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills over the New York Jets in this game. On the line now, the Buffalo Bills are favored by 10.5 in this game. I'm going to probably regret this But I'm going to take Buffalo minus 10.5. The Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. Now, for the Minnesota Vikings in this one, this could be a really good game to watch, be a solid one. See Kirk Cousins and Tyler Haneke going at it. I think this is going to be really good. It's going to be a close game, but I think it's going to be really good as it is. So, I'm going to take Minnesota on the road to beat the Washington Commanders in this game. On the line now, Minnesota's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Minnesota minus 3. I'm not going to lie. If this was higher than 3, I would have taken the Washington Commanders on that one, against the spread. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, I'm going to go based on the better coaching staff, which is Doug Peterson. I hate to say it for Josh McDaniels. Like I mentioned in my thoughts, Josh McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator, but he can't coach like nothing. He can't coach like anything. I don't think if he can get a high school coach if he can coach a high school team like that. That's how bad he is at head coaching job he is. He could be worse than Romeo Crennel, though. The retired Romeo Crennel in there. He was very dismal with the Cleveland Browns in Kansas City, though. Just wasn't great. He was a great defensive coordinator. Just kind of, I have to say, there are some coaches are just meant to be coordinators and not head coaches. And I think that's what Josh McDaniels' case is. So, and that's why I'm going to pick the upset with this one. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Las Vegas Raiders in this game. On the line now, the Vegas Raiders are favored by 1 in this game. I'm going to take Jacksonville plus 1. The Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to this based on video games on this one. I'm not going to lie. I am a gamer, but I haven't played video games much as at all lately because I've been too busy with school. I'd rather be doing that over video games any day anyway. But anyways, ever since Call of Duty games come out, when Kyler Murray played, he struggles. I kind of looked at this one up recently. So I kind of really don't. I believe he was 7-17 since Call of Duty games come out with. Call of Duty Ghosts, I think, was one of them. And Call of Duty Black Ops 3, I think. Something like that. There was a couple of good ones I can remember on top of my head right now. But anyways, that being said, it's kind of a weird stat, but it's kind of an interesting one. So, if you're a gamer. Well, I still once in a while, but I just don't have time. Like I mentioned, I'm not really rushing to get a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch right now because I don't have time for that with work and school. So, anyways, that being said, I'm picking the upset for this one. I think Geno Smith is going to run over Arizona. Both teams play well against the division. It's going to be a really close game, but I think Seattle has the better edge on the defense on this part. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks over Arizona in this game. On the line now, Arizona's favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm taking Arizona plus 2.5 as an upset pick. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the LA Rams. This is their rematch for, I believe it was the divisional playoffs last year when it was on the Rams Super Bowl run when they knocked the Bucs out of the playoffs. I think the Bucs would want a little bit of piece of revenge on the Rams on this one. And it's in Tampa Bay, so it's probably a good part on Tampa in this one. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home over the LA Rams in this game. On the line now, the Buccaneers are favored by 2.5 in this game. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 2.5. Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is a game I am looking forward to in this one. Malik Willis is going to taking on Patrick Mahomes. Ooh, this is going to be a very, very good one. Even though I'm not going to say this is where Malik Willis needs to be stepping up. This is the game to do it. I'm not going to lie in this one. I think this is going to be a very, very close game that people think it is. People think, it's going to be a blowout because it's Tennessee. They not have Ryan Tannehill. I mean, come on. If Tennessee wants to beat Kansas City, put in Derrick Henry in. Ground and pounding it. I think this is going to be really what Tennessee is going to be really doing. They're going to rely on Derrick Henry. And Malik Willis is going to lead the way. But I'm not saying upset on this one. It's going to be a very, very close one. So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Tennessee Titans in this game. The reason why I'm saying it close, because it's against the spread. On the line, though, Tennessee is favored by 11 in this game. I'm taking Tennessee plus 11 in this one. I think it's going to be really close that people think it is. Over and under, it's 46. I'm going to shoot over 46. I really think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm so looking forward to this match. This match is going to be a very good one to watch. I can't wait for this one. So, we could see a playoff contention between both teams again. Who knows? And Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football, excuse me. The Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. Now, this is the much game between the great offense and a great defense. Which I think that's what New Orleans has, a great defense, but not a good offense. Baltimore, the opposite. Great offense, not very good defense this year. Normally, it's the other way around with Baltimore, but the offense is going to be really good right now. I think Lamar Jackson, he's going to put up some good numbers against the New Orleans Saints. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens or the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans in this one on Monday Night Football. On the line, though, Baltimore is favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Baltimore -3. Over and under, it's 48. I'm going to shoot for the over 48. I'm going to push my buttons on this one because I think New Orleans is not going to go down easily. So like I mentioned, I take Baltimore over New Orleans and Baltimore -3 in the over 48. Okay, a big shout out this week. I got 2 of them this week for a special reason because after what happened on one of the pick'em videos this week. First one is Martin Wong, who's been really good from the NFL YouTube prognosticator. Keep everyone on their feet on that. So a big shout out to Martin Wong this week. So check him out and the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page down below right here. And and then also Justin Bridgewater's gonna find us on YouTube and blockbutts_guy on Twitter because a very special reason with that because we had a big inside out joke about his videos this week on his live chat saying I was telling him I love breakfast though. So anyways, I'm just giving a big shout out for that because I'm trying to get a custom made t-shirt to say I love breakfast on it. So stay tuned for the upcoming weeks for that. So that's gonna be on the way on that one. So I'm not going to say my full name on it. I'm just going to say I love breakfast on it. So it's definitely coming. So it's going to be a while since I'm going to probably get it. So it's coming. It's on its way. So a big shout out to Justin Bridgewater's find us on that. So it's a big inside out joke on that one. So on a breakfast morning on that one, you're probably going to see me wearing that coming up in the upcoming weeks. So till then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying rock out and eat your breakfast.